Hey everyone, it's Andy from ACC Crappie Stix out here with my buddy Clint Pipes on Truman Lake doing some fall fishing. We got Sherman over there. He's trying to chase down a fish right now. This is our first stop. Haven't done so good so far, but we're looking forward to it. Clint, what do you think? What do you think we're going to do today? What are we trying to do?
Well, we're going to try catching one over 2 pounds, or maybe 7. It was a little foggy this morning, so we had to idle quite a ways down the lake and got to this first spot and checked it out a little bit and caught a few small fish, but nothing big, so we're going to go on the hunt for some bigger ones.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good day. Let's do it.
All right, we're going to go over a little live scope setting, how I run mine. It kind of varies on the sunlight and that what you run it on, the TVG and noise rejection, the depth of water that you're fishing. You might have to turn it up. I usually run mine. Go to menu. I run my gain, depends, 56 to 70 maybe at the most. Sonar setup, I run my color on amber. If you go to appearance, color gain, I run it between 80 and high 80s. My noise reject's off right now, TVG's off. If you start getting where you can't see your jig head, this morning we started fishing and I couldn't see my jig head whenever it was on medium. TVG and noise reject was low, so I turned them both off and you can see your jig a lot better, but it also makes your fish appear to be bigger, so you got to kind of play that into effect of what you have it running on. My depth, I like to run my depth 3 or 4 foot deeper on the screen than what the water actually is. That way your fish don't look humongous whenever you're hunting for a big fish. You're not catching a pound fish every time thinking it's a big fish. So that's my setup on the live scope. We're out here fishing 8 to 12 foot of water. Just going through and fishing through these stumps, and you'll find a fish sitting on the stump, and they're not biting that good today, but we've caught some decent ones. But we're going to keep going at it and see what we can come out with. Yeah, baby.
Clint, what's your favorite rod to use?
Well, I used to use the 11-foot cork handle a lot. I live here on Truman Lake, my home lake, and we do a lot of vertical jigging. But about a year ago, whenever you come out with the 13-foot crossover super grip, I put that thing in my hands and I've not fished with much since then. It's got the backbone. It's really sensitive for when the fish are being finicky, and got a real light bite. You can feel that light bite. Other than that, I use 7-footer a little bit. I'm not much on casting, but every once in a while you got to cast to them, and that's part of the game. And I need to get more practice with that 7-footer and a 6.5 to do more casting.
Cool. I've got to where I like the 12-foot super grip for the same reasons you said. I can usually get far enough with the 12-footer, but I've had days where the 13 makes a difference. You just get further out there. All right, we're out here today with my buddy Kurt Sherman. He's been fishing this lake. How long have you been fishing this lake, and how'd you get into crappie fishing?
I fished this lake since when they impounded it.
Yeah, when was that?
In '79, I think it was the fall of '79. They shut the gates and it filled up really quick, like within 6 weeks. It was full. There's one.
There we go. Fish interrupt a good conversation every now and then, don't they?
But when they impounded it, it filled up really quick. The trees had leaves on it. It was in the fall. Full of fish when they first impounded it. A lot of big bluegill, a lot of crappie. You could come out and hit a tree that had all the leaves on it and catch 30 crappie off of one tree.
Yeah.
That's a better fish there. And then it's just, you know, and back then the Osage River was the primary river for big fish and a lot of fish. The Osage had a lot of trees and fence rows and hedge trees. And when the lake would flood and big trees and big cottonwoods and stuff would come down out of the Merzine River, and they'd wipe out our trees over on the Osage. So over a period of time, you know, I'm talking 25 years, we lost a lot of our cover on the Osage.
Yeah.
And when that happened, then the Grand River, which doesn't get to flood the big trees, the Grand River became the primary big fish area, especially this upper end. We're only 3 miles from where it goes back into being an actual river. But this is where the big fish, most of the tournaments are won right in here, within a mile of us, 2 miles of us either way.
When did you start using these green rods? How'd you find out about them and start using them?
Jackie and Holly Linton had them because they had the green boat.
Yeah.
And they had the green rods. Yeah. And they gave me one. I think I was out here fishing a tournament, and it was really rough that day, and we was going down the lake, Dylan and I, and my rod come out of the lake, out of the water, boat, and I didn't have a pole, and Jackie and Holly gave me one. I believe that's how I started fishing them. And that's been quite a while.
Just liked them ever since.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I used the 11-foot rear seat a lot, and then when they're deeper, when the fish are 14, 16 feet deep, I'll go with a 11-foot mid seat with a spinning reel on it. Like down in Lake the Pines or something, or on the Osage in the wintertime, I'll go with a mid-seat spinning reel.
So you can reel up and get to the reel quicker.
Yeah, because it's hard to handle this and fish 16 foot deep.
Yeah.
You can do it, but then you get the line blowing on something, the wind blows the line, and gets hung up on everything. It's just hard. This is, I don't know, a lot of my buddies fish this rod right here anymore. A lot of them do. You know, and you can't beat them. I don't know how old this rod is, but it's caught a lot of fish. You can see.
Yeah.
I tried to wash it off one time, and
yeah, I like seeing them, the old ones that have been around for a while that have caught thousands of fish. It's neat to talk to people that, you know, have had one that's 4, 5, 6 years old and covered in fish slime and scales, and the cork's dirty, and they don't want to get rid of it. It's their lucky, you know, they get sentimental. You know, you catch a lot of fish on a rod, why get rid of it?
I've got two. You gave me some when I had the kids fishing and education program.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You sent me some then, and that just sunk the hook in me. I was into ACC from then on. But we gave away some at the kids fishing and education high school team tournaments. They're popular. I see a lot of them on this reservoir here anymore.
Yeah, they're getting a lot more. You know, I can go out. It's kind of cool. I can go to any lake and I'll see someone, you know, with one, and I usually try to go talk to them. It's pretty neat.
I think I was fishing Crappie Masters Championship down in Grenada, and we spider trolling. This was before live scope, and I seen two old boys come by, and they had, I believe it was a 16-foot ACC trolling rods. They had 2 ounces of weight on them, and they was going about 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, cruising right along.
I thought, my gosh, but it handled them. You know, pretty versatile rods.
Yeah.
I've never picked up a dock shooter.
Not a lot of docks around here.
Not a lot of casting on this reservoir.
No, you don't have to.
I imagine someday I might if I go. But we travel. I fish Oklahoma and Kansas, Missouri and Texas, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I want to do a little bit of Arkansas now.
Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah, you ought to go over to Lake of the Ozarks and shoot docks.
Oh my gosh. You know, I grew up on Lake of the Ozarks. Dad had a cabin down there, and we caught a lot of fish down there.
Yeah.
I just can't tolerate all the traffic, the boat traffic.
Yeah. I don't think it's too bad this time of year during the week. But yeah, I've been down there in the summer on a weekend, and that was the last time I did that. That doesn't work.
It gets dangerous down there, you know. So I stay away from it.
Yeah.
And it's not known for big fish. I mean,
no.
Today we've struggled to catch big fish, but there's days out here you can catch a lot of 1.5-pound fish, 1.75-pound fish.
Yeah.
Today we struggled. The bite just now is starting to turn on.
Yeah, that front's rolling through. I think the barometer was at like 900 or like insanely high, bluebird sky days, and that makes a huge difference. I don't care what anybody says. The weather is, that's what they live by. They don't.
Yeah, they, you know, me, I just go fishing when I can.
Yeah, and if it's tough, it's tough. You learn something, you grind it out, and you go home.
Yeah.
If it's good, it's good. You know, you can't. Yeah. You learn something no matter if it's raining or windy or, you know.
Oh yeah.
You always figure something out, and then some days just kick your butt and you just go home with your tail between your legs, and it makes that couch feel all that much better though, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know.
You go grind it out for 8 hours and go home whooped and take it easy.
I was, I'm going to be 70 here real quick, and I'm really surprised how much of the timber, standing timber in this lake is gone already.
Yeah.
Some of it's still down there, you can see.
Yeah.
But when the lake gets up, you know, to normal pool, you won't see this right here.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much of this timber has disappeared out of this reservoir.
It is not a fun lake to go on a boat ride in.
No, it's not fun.
You have to stare at that graph, and your knuckles are white. It's just, unless you get used to it, but I'm not here enough, and it's just not a joyride. You're staring at that graph, at that channel, and if you get out of that channel.
Well, and me, you know, I'm up and down it, you know, all the time. So, and we have the mapping and our birds, and it's not an issue.
Yeah.
But they tear up a lot of boats, a lot of lower units, and a lot of props on this lake. Tear them up. Right now, they've tore up a lot of them because people got so used to running in areas they shouldn't have been running in.
Yeah.
And
then the water drops a little bit, and they pay for it. I don't understand. They rent pontoon boats. How do you rent boats out on this lake and expect it to even come back with a lower unit?
The lower end of the lake, down by the dam, is not near as treacherous as this. There's areas down there where the lake's a mile wide and there's no timber.
Yeah.
So they do that down there. Bucksaw is probably a 25-minute ride from here at 35 miles an hour. So it's, you know, it's quite a way. It's 25 miles. And so the rental boats don't ever come up in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, over Sterritt Creek, they rent boats, a lot of boats there. And that's down by the dam, and it's just wide open, real clear, you know, you can see 3 foot deep water.
You ever fish down there much?
No, the fish are small. The crappie are small down there. A lot of hybrids down there, a lot of big hybrids. And we do some blue cat fishing down there in the wintertime.
That's definitely a thing, is big fish, it seems, or most lakes, you want the upper end.
Yep.
The shallow, where the creeks come in, as far away from the dam and the clear waters you can get, is where 99% of tournaments are won across the country.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I used to fish tournaments, and if I was at a new lake, I'd take and divide it into 3 parts, and I'd always fish the upper third. Always. And there's a lot of crappie down there. And in the wintertime, you know, the guides go down there and they catch 9, 10, 10.5 inch crappie, you know. And, wintertime, I go down there and fish for blue cat. And but that's the only time I go down there.
Now, the Texas lakes, they do migrate.
The crappie do.
Towards the dam, towards the lower end. You start up here and then you move your way, like when we were on Fork and Pines, they kind of migrate.
Yeah, and I don't know why they don't do it here.
It's weird. There's no one book that explains every lake, is there? Every lake's got its own unique.
No, because you can catch fish up here in 4 foot of water in the middle of the winter.
Yeah, it's just every lake's different. Well, Kurt, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us down, and we appreciate having you around, and it's fun fishing with you.
Well, I'm glad you guys got up here.
We'll come back sometime when they're biting better.
Do come back. Come back sometime when you can stay 3 or 4 days.
There we go.
Just, you know, relax, do some serious fishing and relax a little bit.
I don't think he'll come.
He won't be back? He'll be back. He'll be back.
If I mention Truman, he said he's hanging up. Wrong number, I don't know who you are, I gotta go, bye. We're wrapping the day up with my buddy Clint and Kurt. Buddies Clint and Kurt. Went out to Truman, caught some fish today. Had a beautiful day, the weather was perfect, and we're out of here. We're debating on where to go get a big steak. So tell them bye, guys.
Thanks for having us today, Andy. Your rods are amazing, and can't wait to go out and catch some more.
We will be back.
Great fishing pole.
Thank you.
They are.
Well,
great.
it's good to hang out with you guys. I like coming out and fishing with different people all the time, and I like traveling, and I like coming here, and you guys are good hosts. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Cameraman.
Come back.
Kyle.
Bring your cameraman with you.
There we go.